So,
Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to A Day with Clay. Today I've got a good friend of mine. His name is Shayne McCarthy. He is the H2 water expert, and that's where he can be found everywhere. And he's been a big proponent in education for teaching people about the most optimal forms of water for getting our bodies hydrated and for optimal health and just returning our bodies back to a place of homeostasis and just ridding it of all the junk that's been in our systems. And so yeah, Shayne, welcome to A Day with Clay. Appreciate having you here today.
hey, thanks, brother. I appreciate you having me. I love our chats. We always seem to have a good conversation, and so I've been looking forward to getting back to this conversation for a while now. But obviously, I've been a little preoccupied over the last few weeks.
Yeah, Shayne's got a 1-month-old, so he's been busy being in dad mode.
Mm-hmm.
So with regards to water, you are known as the H2 water expert. That is your handle on social medias. Where did you become first fascinated with water in regards to health? Like where was that first moment for you?
Actually, I do have an aha moment. For me, it was I was in it was 2013, around Canada Day long weekend. I got in a really bad ATV accident, and I got traumatic brain injury, so I fractured my skull. Almost broke my C1, C2 vertebrae, which would have left me a quadriplegic breathing through tube at best. And quite literally almost died, but God, universe, creator, however you want to perceive, had bigger plans for me, and I was only in the hospital for the weekend, but I realized when I was in the hospital that, okay, I like to lift heavy things up and put them down, but I'm not quite as healthy as I thought I was because, my blood pressure was high, my heart rate was high. I realized, okay, I'm on Nexium. I'm 27 years old at the time, and I'm taking Nexium, which is prescription heartburn medication. Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, I should probably take some looks at my health and do something for myself, or else I'm gonna end up back in this hospital. But for my own stupidity. And so my buddy had been trying to sell me a water machine for years, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. Water is water. Meanwhile, I'm not drinking any water at all, and I'm basically only drinking milk. It's just like the idea of only drinking milk is just disgusting to me now. But
Yeah, as much as I love milk, I couldn't drink only milk.
Yeah, I just see I couldn't drink only milk. I mean, I used to drink about 4 liters a day because it was the only thing I could drink, because everything else gave me heartburn.
Wow.
Yeah,
And so was water included in that? Water would give you heartburn, or you just didn't like drinking water?
yeah, and both. It was like, no, so that's why to my buddy, I always it's like, oh yeah, no, water's water, whatever. And obviously, I am not of the same opinion. My opinion on that has evolved quite substantially. But yeah, that's when I invested in that particular water machine, not realizing that it only filtered chlorine, and there was a lot more maintenance to it than I realized before purchasing it. But
okay, so before you continue too much, like I want this to be an open flowing conversation. I want people to learn from everyone's experience. So don't be afraid to say the name of the machine that you had. Maybe leave the name of the guy out that you bought it from, but like, because it's not the machine's fault. It's also the people telling you what you need to do and what it requires in order for it to actually be beneficial. Exactly, right? So don't be afraid to share what machine you had.
So it was a Leveluk ST501 from Enagic, or also otherwise known as Kangen. They're a very popular network marketing company with the business aspect to it. I bought the machine with zero interest in doing the business at all.
Mm-hmm.
However, after about 4 months or so, some things happened with my insurance business that I was running at the time, and I needed to make some changes, and I realized, okay, this can help some people, so let's start going down this road, and so I took part in that network marketing part of it for a bit. I did the old dog and pony show of showing people the pretty colors of the pH scale and stuff as I learned and evolved myself. But I realized as I was doing these presentations, like, okay, if this really is going to take off, I want to be able to communicate with doctors and scientists and stuff, because if we get their sign off on it, then it's going to be immensely easier to promote and sell.
Of course.
And so I started doing my research on, ionized water, electrolyzed reduced water, alkalized water, which is what an Enagic or Kangen machine is, and that's what the technology is. And I discovered from the research that I was doing that it was the true benefit to the ionized water is H2, or molecular hydrogen, when dissolved properly into the water. And when I first started learning about that, almost 10 years ago, there were about 350 studies, and now it was just released earlier this week that from the Molecular Hydrogen Institute that there's over 3,000 studies.
Is there over 3,000 now?
Hydrogen now? Yeah, which
Wow.
is awesome. So as someone that's been kind of yelling about it from the rooftops for a decade now, it's really cool to see this gaining the traction that I've wanted it to always see. But when I learned about hydrogen and then started testing my water from my Kangen machine for hydrogen and wasn't getting a therapeutic amount of hydrogen, I took it to the Enagic website, or not a website, the head office, and I said, hey, my machine's not creating the hydrogen it should. They don't care about hydrogen. They don't promote it. They don't engineer their machines to create that. And so a lot of the Kangen reps now are talking about hydrogen and,
yes, they are.
and hydrogen in their water. But this is what happened to me back when I was trying to sell a machine to my buddy who owned a couple of gyms. And he said, oh, I talked to my doctor, and my doctor said it's a waste of money. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably because it's alkaline water. It's because the reps for the company are still promoting alkaline water when it's all about the hydrogen. And he's just like, that's where I got to stop you. Everything that you say about hydrogen, it all checks out online. And again, there was only about 350 studies at the time. And then he says to me, but when I go to the Kangen website, the Enagic website, they don't say anything about molecular hydrogen or hydrogen at all. So you're promoting hydrogen, but are you actually selling it? I'm like, that's a good point.
Interesting.
So that's where I had sold maybe, I think, 14 machines. And and one of my last sales was to actually my parents, and one of the I had to make a decision whether to be loyal to them, the company, my upline in my company, who used to be one of my best friends and we haven't talked in close to a decade now, which is sad, but it is what it is. But I had to decide whether I was going to be loyal to them or loyal to my customers going forward, and so
loyal to that's loyal to yourself, because if you know something and you've learned something that now makes you believe that this is no longer properly serving you, you owe it to yourself to be in alignment with you and move forward with the product that is in alignment.
Yeah, it's a tough decision to make, right? Because now it's like, oh shit, I've sold these machines to these people, and it's friends and family and people you care about, and it's not that you did it in with any ill intentions or ill will, and it's I just needed to make the right decision for myself, like you said, and for everybody that I was gonna deal with moving forward. And so I looked around and I found, I inevitably found myself with Ultra Water and Alcaviva, because their filtration is phenomenal. It is the best on the ionizer market, and they actually have the certification and for the testing to prove it. As well as the maintenance on it. You don't need to clean it like you do in a Kangen machine or any machine that doesn't have the reverse polarity. Every time you turn the machine on and off, the cathode and the anode switch, which eliminates the need for you to clean the machine like you do with a Kangen machine. And they're very easy to hook up. They're countertop units, under the counter units, and even whole home filtration units. And the customer service and support with the company is absolutely phenomenal. That's huge for me. I don't care how good your product is. If you don't have the service and support to back it up, it really doesn't matter. And so that's another big thing that we stand by with. I released with a partner of mine earlier this year, a company called Tech for Health. And it's Tech, TECH, the number 4, health.ca. And we have a hydrogen inhalation machine. We've got the Ferrari of reverse osmosis machines, that removes up to 1/10,000th of a micron from your water. I just posted about it today. We have a customer in Texas. His TDS, or total dissolved solids, was like 670 parts per million. Like, that's insane. That is ridiculously hard. That's harder than water in China. That's some of the hardest water I've seen. And our machine took it down to 14.
Nice. So that's a reverse osmosis machine.
It is. And so that particular client didn't want remineralization. But
why? Why not?
We talked to them about it. For whatever reason, the minerals in the water just didn't agree with them. They didn't like it. So that's what you want. I mean, we had the discussions of what the importance of minerals in your water, but we were able to facilitate what they were looking for, and to be able to take the TDS down that much. And it's a tankless RO system too, which is huge because obviously there's a lot of RO systems that look like bombs that need to be dismantled, and the big tanks and stuff like that. And some of them have remineralization, but a lot of those remineralizations are synthetic, so it's like a magnesium sulfate or calcium sulfate type of thing. Whereas the remineralization in the 8-stage RO system from Tech for Health is actually true minerals. So it's a true calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium that are added into the water. I mean, it's a healthy enough amount to get that foundation into your water that you want in your water. But there, I want to actually take this opportunity to talk about you're not getting like a daily source of minerals from your water at all. You'd have to drink like 32 gallons or something dumb like that in order to get it. But the purpose of the minerals in the water is it's the foundation to the water. It's not just H2O. That is actually a solvent. You shouldn't be drinking just pure H2O because it will strip your body of minerals, and that in itself is why you need minerals in your water, or why I suggest you have minerals in your water. But yeah, anyways, that machine is phenomenal. And we are looking at a couple of other more on the lines of ultra filtration. instead of reverse osmosis.
So what would that look like? What is the difference between reverse osmosis and a ultra filter, just a filter that removes particles?
Most reverse osmosis systems that people get are actually ultrafiltration, and a lot they don't actually have a true reverse osmosis membrane, which is it's shocking for a lot of people, but it's not a membrane. I mean, and that's not for every RO system, but I'm for some of the more cheaper models. So this would look like it's actually a pretty slick stainless steel looking, kind of the like 4 canisters lined up aside. The bomb that needs to be dismantled a little bit. Actually, with the stainless steel canisters, it looks even more like a bomb that needs to be dismantled. But
why dismantle it? Let's let it go.
The whole purpose really is just being able to offer people solutions for every household, for every budget. I live in British Columbia. We're known as having the best water in the world, and it's just like, okay, yeah, in comparison to what, like Flint, Michigan, yeah, we have better water than most places, sure,
but the bar is very low.
Yeah, 100%. And so, I would make the argument that everyone, everywhere, needs at the very least some proper filtration for the water that you're ingesting, not just drinking, the water that you are cooking with and washing your produce with and stuff like that. That all goes into that ends up becoming water that you're ingesting. And so having, either a whole home system or one of the point of contact systems, an ionizer or a reverse osmosis system, that's going to be of huge value to you and your entire family's health.
So with a company like Tech for Health or Ultra Water, where you have the filtration systems, could someone come to you with a sample of their tap water, be able to test it? Like, do you guys have either in-house or a third-party facility? Do you guys do to take the water to test it, and then be able to recommend different filtration systems for their exact needs and for what their water comes out as?
We don't do the testing, but we do make the recommendations once we have the testing.
So it's the homeowners or whoever the customer is, it's their responsibility to get a test done and then bring you the results?
Yes.
Okay. And then based on that, you can recommend what would best suit their situation.
Kind of like, an A, B, C type of thing, whether it's a whole home system, and obviously, again, like it's kind of like buying a big screen TV, right? That's you want the biggest one, biggest, best, but sometimes you can afford the one that, and so we just present a few different options and solutions, and that we can get pretty creative with it. A lot of people want the Alcaviva ionizers, but it's a higher ticket item, so maybe instead you get the RO system, or soon to be an ultra filtration system, and a couple of the portable hydrogen bottles. So because then you're getting great optimum filtration, and you're still getting the benefits of the hydrogen. You're just not getting the with the ionizer, the 8 different levels from the pHs of all the way down to 3, all the way up to over 11. That can be used for cooking and cleaning and skincare and watering your plants and giving it to your pets and so on and so forth.
So I actually have a question about that with the Alcaviva ionizer, because if their whole thing is hydrogen, now I know they have a different delivery mechanism of the hydrogen as opposed to a Kangen machine, where it's a dissolved hydrogen instead of whatever Kangen says they have with clusters and microclusters. I don't know what that is, but
okay, because I don't want to. I don't bash Kangen in any way, and it's microclustering is just it's very good advertising, or marketing, because it's easier to understand than saying that the water is more bioavailable for the average. It's layman terms for the water becomes more bioavailable. And, there's a lot of touting about how it's a medical grade machine, which it has the ISO certification and is recognized as a medical grade machine, but here in Japan and Korea. But here's the thing. Every ionizer that creates a pH of over 8.5 in Korea and Japan are automatically recognized as medical devices. Where I don't understand how it's recognized as a medical device is that it only filters out chlorine, because it does microcluster or make the water more bioavailable for your body. A proper term would be nanoclustering. It structures.
Yeah, I don't fully understand the clustering element as opposed to the dissolved element.
Well, it structures the water better. And I talk to people that structure their water with wands and crystals and stuff like that all the time. And structured water is great because it's gonna, it's allegedly absorbing into your cells better. There is very little in the way of science that supports that, but I don't I don't necessarily rule it out because of that. The difference between hydrogen water and structured water is that hydrogen water will get into your cells in a very efficient manner. But once they're in your cells, they reduce oxidative stress and help improve your mitochondrial function, which increases your energy and cognitive function. And it helps restore your balance at a cellular level, which is where your body can then start operating at a more optimal level, right? Because your body's not trying to play catch up to the oxidative stress that's being created in your body that the hydrogen's now taking care of.
Mm-hmm.
And now, because of that, anti-inflammatory pathways are opening up, and because your mitochondria is operating optimally, your glutathione, which is your body's master antioxidant, is getting upregulated, and your NAC and NAD levels are going up, and your NRF2 pathway opens up. And all of this stuff is now backed by the over 3,000 studies on hydrogen that continue to grow more and more and more, which is just phenomenal. And I'm super, super grateful for people like Tyler LeBaron and Randy Sharp and Tywon Hubbard that are helping me educate more and more people about the benefits of hydrogen when properly dissolved into the waters, which is now circling back to what you were talking about. Two things with Alcaviva is with their smart electrodes, they're designed to actually dissolve the hydrogen into the water. You'll see a lot of videos from Kangen people with the bubbles in their water, and it's looks like cloudy and stuff. The hydrogen that is benefiting your health isn't visible to the naked eye. It's dissolved into the water. So whether that's hydrogen or not, or maybe whether that's an ionized heavy metal or contaminant that's still in your water because the filtration doesn't add up with the Kangen machine or not. Either way, that's not dissolved molecular hydrogen in your water, nor is I see videos of people lighting their water on fire with a lighter when it crackles, and then when it comes out of the machine, it's just a lot of hydrogen in the water. And it's like, no, that's hydrogen that is not dissolved in your water, and it's leaving the water right away, immediately, which means it's not helping you or your health at all. This is a big part of why I do what I do. What I do is to help clear up a lot of the misinformation that there is out there, because it's the same thing I hear every single time I talk to someone that is very passionate about their Kangen machine and building their Kangen business. Same types of things that I hear every single time. And it's just regurgitated misinformation, and it's it's nothing against anybody that's doing it. I get that you're trying to help, you're trying to make a difference, but the thing is you need to you need to make a decision and understanding that there's nothing proprietary about the canning machine. So there's nothing stopping anyone from coming in and making it better and more affordable. And you know, the Alcaviva machines have all of the same medical certification. It's all listed on the website. It's very often I hear, "Oh, do your research," and it's like, well, I agree. Do your research and take a
So
look.
the original question was going to be, if Alcaviva is more focused on the molecular hydrogen, then why is there ability to change the pH, which then makes it seem the same as a alkaline machine, like a canning machine?
Well, it's part of the ionization, right? So whether the machine is creating the hydrogen or not, ionization is splitting the water into alkaline and acidic water. But where I was going before I completely went off on a tangent there, I apologize. I am lacking sleep a little bit with my 2-month-old, or sorry, not even 1 month old. Woo!
It's okay.
So that the Alcaviva smart electrodes have the current or the electrical current to be able to actually go the step further than just creating the hydroxide ion, because that's what starts changing the pH is the hydroxide ion and hydrogen free radicals. So like elemental hydrogen, that's what's changing the pH. None of that has anything to do with your health. It actually kind of adds into a lot of the confusion, because the thing that is creating the alkaline pH, which isn't a true alkaline substance, which meaning it doesn't buffer acid like a baking soda and water, or calcium and magnesium would. But it's the hydroxide ion, right? So that's OH negative. That's what's making the water alkaline. Well, H2 molecular hydrogen, what it scavenges for is a hydroxyl radical, which is OH neutral, which you take that negative sign away from the OH, and you change it from the thing that is creating alkalinity or the alkaline pH in your water, and it makes it to the most cytotoxic, cell damaging free radical in your body, which is crazy. Yeah, that's what makes things so difficult. It's made it a challenge for me to in layman's terms help people understand how and why hydrogen is helping people. But that's so the Alcaviva machines are the plates, the smart electrodes are designed to take it that step above to answer that question. And then also to back that up, that's where the Dark 2 cleaning system, the reverse polarity anti-scaling technology helps continue to create that hydrogen, because that's why you want to prevent scaling on your electrodes with your ionizer, regardless of the company's name. Is because as soon as any calcium scales onto the electrodes of your machine, any of the therapeutic benefits or any of the hydrogen that you are getting is done. And at that point, you just have nice tasting water, but it's not going to help your health or change your health or benefit your health in the way that you originally invested in it for. And so that's how we with the smarter electrodes, the Alcaviva machines create the hydrogen, and the Dark 2 cleaning technology is how it continues to create hydrogen. And that's why the machines also have a lifetime warranty on their parts, because they're well designed to last a lifetime. And so that is some of the many reasons why I choose Alcaviva. And
so I did take a look at the website for different certifications. Is there any IHSA certification for the Alcaviva?
No, great question. As you probably know, the IHSA are not huge supporters of ionizers because ionizers are hard to create. There's a very it's like a Goldilocks spot. Being able to create water that has an acceptable amount level of pH, so 9.8 or below, but still having a therapeutic amount of hydrogen in the water, which the Alcaviva machines, every machine that I've used and tested, is creating parts per million of around 0.8 to 1 at your level 2, level 3 alkaline waters, which are sitting around 9 to 9.5. And so, that's nowhere near what you're going to get from, say, a portable hydrogen bottle, but you're also able to drink it at your fingertips and whenever you want. And so, when you're drinking 2, 3, 4, 5 liters a day, really depending on the person and your activity level and what you're doing and your size and all that, because there's no cookie cutter answer. If you're drinking that amount,
Cheers.
yeah, I was just gonna say, cheers. You are getting a therapeutic amount. Like it's about what you're looking for is 2.1 milligrams minimum of hydrogen a day. And so, that's the better portable hydrogen bottles are going to create 5 to 6,000 parts per billion or 5 to 6 parts per million of hydrogen, but that's in, say, 250 milliliters of water.
So are any of these bottles IHSA certified?
I don't know either. The one that we support on Tech for Health has been third-party tested by H2 Analytics, but and H2 Analytics is part of IHSA, I believe. Like I believe they're an IHSA certified testing facility,
Let's
which
see here.
I think would.
Then if you don't know, it's easy enough to say that's a great
Yeah,
question.
no, I'm
Yeah.
not.
By the way, I'm gonna put links to all of these things that we're talking about. We talked about Tyler LeBaron's Molecular Hydrogen Institute, where he actually provides training where you can get certified at different levels to be educated on, because he has the mission just like you do. He wants to provide education so that there isn't misunderstanding, so that there isn't wrong information going out there. He isn't with a particular company. He just wants the world to know the proper information about the benefits of hydrogen. Now, I'm looking on their related science. I don't see anything anywhere on here talking about it being certified by any other parties. But that's okay. But yeah, they're a third-party testing site, and they also have the founder of the company of H2 Hub, Tywon Hubbard, has a YouTube channel which is very informative and is able to illustrate a lot of the effects very well. And I'll put links to all that down below as well. So I wonder why aren't more of these companies, these water bottles or the water machines like you have, why aren't more of them getting certified by IHSA as they are kind of a gold standard of third-party testing for health and safety?
That's a good question. I mean, they should be. I would agree with that. I think they should be getting certified with that.
Because something
with
that's come
IHSA,
to...
I agree. I mean, it's the same thing as what used to be the WQA, the Water Quality Association, and they're great on the filtration side of things, but if you're in the hydrogen market and you're marketing hydrogen products, being certified by the IHSA, you're absolutely right. It's a gold standard.
So, yeah, something that's come to my attention of late is some byproducts of chasing the higher concentration of hydrogen, which a lot of these bottles, they're just,
Mm-hmm.
they seem to be trying to go head and shoulders above, up, up, and they're in this race to have the highest possible concentration of hydrogen.
Yep.
Now, some people have brought it to my attention that there could be difficulties with this. There could be a byproduct
100%.
of ramming more ampage, more voltage to these little generators without properly having the infrastructure in place and getting other byproducts in the water from sending too much juice essentially to the generators. And some of these byproducts can be heavy metals.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just curious as to why more of these products aren't being tested at IHSA, and if they are being tested, why aren't they getting certified?
This is a perfect example. This one here, the claim to this one was that it did 9,800 parts per billion.
Ooh, that's a big number.
It is. Ordered it in, tested it out, didn't do that, and it's very misleading. It has a hydrogen meter as it's creating the hydrogen. The hydrogen's going up and the ORP's going down, but it's the same numbers every single time and I tested that part out. I mean, it's not bad, but you're absolutely right. There's a lot of these products that are coming out with that are leaching heavy metals into the water. They're promoting or saying it's okay to use tap water. It's not okay to use tap water in these bottles. Please do not use tap water in these bottles, because what hydrogen water is more, should I say, microclustered? No, it's because it's more bioavailable. So, and that means that everything else that's in the water is going to become more bioavailable. And the last thing you want to do is make, chlorine and arsenic and fluoride and everything else that's in your water more bioavailable.
Exactly.
So please don't use that. I mean, that's where, like I said, for people that don't have the budget for the Alcaviva H2, get the RO system and a couple of the portable hydrogen bottles instead. That fits the budget, and you're getting the health benefits. You're just not getting all the other benefits from it. But there are, with the portable bottles, there's a few great ones. There's some okay ones. There's a lot of shitty ones.
Yes,
there's a lot of shitty ones on the market. There is. And then, it's weird because it's a sign that the hydrogen market is going in the right direction because people are hopping on it and just trying to make a buck from it, and that's the downside. It's like a double-edged sword. It's great because more and more people are recognizing hydrogen water and the benefits. It's bad because people that just want to make profits off of you are hopping in and just try and sell something. And then the bad part about that is like, they get the bottle and it either doesn't do what they want it to do, and like, I drank hydrogen water, it did nothing for me. Well, did you drink hydrogen water, or did you just drink water that looked like hydrogen water but actually just had more heavy metals in it and was probably worse for you than you were expecting?
Yeah, like there's one particular bottle that's like the most advertised with drop shippers bottle there is, and actually I can see one. I ordered one because I wanted to test it for myself, just like you.
Yeah.
This one right here.
No.
This one. Yeah. It makes like a cloudy water, but it has no off-gassing port. So all the byproduct of splitting the molecules of the water is just all going right back into the water, and it tastes or it smells like a bath, like a pool. It smells like a swimming pool because there's literally chlorine in it as a byproduct.
Yep. Yeah. My father-in-law has that exact same bottle.
And it's
one of the variations of it.
It's gross and unfortunate, and it doesn't even have a proper membrane on here because it's not splitting them. Like you can see it starting to get cloudy, and then you open it up when it's done the cycle
Wrong
and it
type.
literally smells like chlorine.
Yeah,
So
wrong type of cloudy.
yes, wrong type of cloudy. Now we should have done this right at the beginning, but if I could give you like a 2-minute section to rattle off what are the benefits of drinking hydrogen water for people.
Well,
Start the clock.
the easiest. It all comes down to living a healthy, balanced lifestyle, and the start of that. The start of everything starts at a cellular level, and hydrogen will help you at a cellular level reestablish and maintain a balance. And this allows your body to start operating in an optimal level the way it's supposed to operate. And that is when you start allowing your body, which is an absolutely incredible machine, to be its best and stay hydrated again at a cellular level, and then pave the way for the rest of your life to be in that same healthier, balanced state.
So what are some of the mechanisms of delivering this balance at a cellular level of health?
Well, you're reducing oxidative stress, which many of us are riddled with, and it is the cause to many of today's illnesses and ailments. One, when you balance that out, you are opening up anti-inflammatory pathways, because inflammation is right there with oxidative stress in it being the foundation to many of today's illnesses, diseases, and ailments. And so you also get improved mitochondrial function. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of your cells, of your body. That's where you get your energy from. So you'll have improved energy, increased sleep, improved cognitive function, improved gut health, which then again leads to a number of other things. 70 to 80% of your immune system is right there in your intestinal tract, in your gut.
A lot of the serotonin and other endorphins, like 90% of it, are produced in your gut. And if your gut is not working properly, if it's not absorbing nutrients because it's inflamed and your gut bacteria is imbalanced, that directly affects your brain. But unfortunately, it's not something that when you've been in a state that is suboptimal for a very long time, you don't notice.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, to draw a comparison that maybe some will understand and some may not. You don't know if you're brainwashed when you're brainwashed. That's the whole point. Your body doesn't know anything different. So if you have never been in a healthy, not inflamed state, you don't realize just how good you actually could and should be feeling if your body is operating at a optimal functionality.
Yeah, because so many of my customers, they start drinking the water once they get the machine installed, and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm feeling amazing. Everything feels so great, and I've got so much energy." And it's like, no, you feel normal.
Yeah, that's
That's
welcome.
what normal should feel like.
Welcome to normal. I love that.
Yeah, that's the problem with the world that we live in. Is it's become normalized to not be okay, and that's not okay. Everybody's like, it's the "I'm fine" mentality. It's like, oh, I'm not in the hospital sick and dying, so I'm fine. It's like, well, that's okay if you want to just survive, but I don't know about you, but I want to thrive. I don't want to just, be part of the system where, you live, you work for 40 years and then you end up just dying after you go into retirement and stuff. I want to be able to thrive, well into my hundreds. And I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people, but I don't think it is. I think that if you treat your body right, and your body being 75 or 70 to 75% water, so water being and hydration being a big aspect of how you treat your body right. If you treat your body right, I think you can live a lot longer than what people are living nowadays.
And I totally agree with you, and I'm right there along with you. I will be 110 years old together, fist bumping as we go
Oh
lift
yeah,
some weights.
yeah, 100%, 100%. We'll take our flying cars or whatever we think we'll have at that point, and who knows where we'll be at that point.
Flying cars,
But
or who knows, maybe we'll be back living in the jungle
or
to
maybe
stay away from the flying cars.
maybe it'll be hydrogen powered vehicles.
That
There already are.
they honestly, it should be. Has a higher energy density than gasoline. It's cleaner. It's more renewable. It's everything that people want, but thought they had in going electric. When there's so much bullshit byproduct and things that are not seen by the average person, like even just having one of these things, what goes into the production of making one of those things is insane.
Yeah, there's a lot of things people are quite unaware of because they're too busy being distracted by this very thing and
The
they don't
device
have...
itself. So with all that being said, Shane, do you have any routines that you do to maintain yourself, for your mind, for your body, for your overall health? Like, do you have anything that you don't miss on every day, or even if you do just miss it a couple times, like it's a steady routine that you feel better doing every day?
Well, yeah, there's quite a few. I mean, when I'm at my best, I'm doing all of these things. But I mean, there's simple things like reading, even just reading 15 pages a day, drinking water. And I don't want to say 8 glasses of water. I don't want to say I mean, sometimes I drink 4 liters of water in a day. Sometimes I drink 2. Sometimes I drink 6. It depends on the day that I'm having, right? You don't need to give your car any more gas than you're using the fuel for, right? And so I don't need
You just need to give it the best gas.
Yeah, it's exactly. That's what it is. It's giving yourself the high a high octane gas, the best quality gas, instead of giving yourself the shit super save gas. That and then wonder and then sit there and wonder why your car's not operating properly.
Yeah. Why is my Ferrari running like a lawnmower?
Yeah, right. But yeah, so I mean, there's breath work, fascial maneuvers from Human Garage. That's a fairly non-negotiable.
I've been watching some of those. The bald German guy.
No, yeah, Jules,
Jules, yeah.
Love
I've been
that guy.
watching some of his stuff, and I understand the legitimacy of it because of how meridians and fascial nets work. Because my wife is a fascial stretch therapist, and she also does energy work that's dealing with meridians and all this stuff. So I understand all these things. It's just so wild. Like, even just some of the stuff he does for his stomach to help with digestion and like just getting into maneuvering a certain spot under the ribs, twisting a certain way and breathing and saying he's making all these changes in his life. It's just wild, and it's so easy to dismiss and say, that's not even a pharmaceutical drug. How could that possibly help you? And but it's so fascinating. And I mean, you look at the guy.
Fascinating.
What's that?
Fascinating.
Fascinating. Beautiful. Well done. Good dad joke. You've been practicing.
I'm an absolute veteran already.
I love that. So you've got reading, you've got fascial maneuvering, you've got breath work,
high quality water, high vibrancy foods, walk.
What do you consider high vibrancy foods?
So I am a meat eater, so grass fed beef, ocean caught fish, and free range chicken. Just know where you're getting your food from.
It's just conscious choices.
And also, again, don't forget your power. Be high vibrational when you're around your food, when you're eating your food, when you're cooking your food. That transfers into it. And again, it may sound crazy to some people, but it's legit. We are, vibrational, energetic beings, and so, I also have EMF protection, but I also in my home. But I also know that if I'm at an aligned state, I can protect myself from anything that comes my way.
Fascinating.
Right? So, and praying or affirmations, cold showers are another good one. Exercise, just like
Moving the body.
yeah, body's in motion, stay in motion. That's one beautiful thing about having a newborn is going on lots of walks. Walking is, if you're trying to lose weight, walking and lifting some weights is probably the best thing outside of obviously changing your diet and what you're eating and drinking and ingesting.
Yeah, muscles are the longevity organs.
But like it's for people that like that are looking for the quick fixes and stuff like that. Just go along for the ride and enjoy the journey and just be open to trying different things. Be open minded and know that there's a bajillion different. Let's put it this way: for every problem there is in this world, there's a solution. And you just have to open your mind to how and where and why and when you're going to find that. But trust and have faith that you will find that solution that works for you.
And keep asking the questions that are going to get you to that. Because if you, someone I was talking to yesterday, he said, if you have the mindset of I can't because, then you will never be able to do that. So instead, why not ask the question, how can I do blank instead? Because then you're actually going to feed your body and feed your subconscious, feed your mind with the intent of getting there. And then it's going to automatically be searching out subconsciously, looking for the answers to that question.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's along with that. This is why I like Think and Grow Rich and the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Like there's all of these success books, they talk about one common concept, and it's mindset, right? Don't look at things like you have to do them. Look at them as if you get to do them.
Yeah.
Like and that's for anybody that's in a more depressed state, which is a lot of people, unfortunately, right now. Just start by thinking of what, just even the most minimal thing that you're grateful for. Think about the most minimal things, that the breath that you just took, your eyes waking up, eyes opening and waking up in the morning. Whatever it is, start from there and build on that. Just get into that gratitude mindset, and everything else kind of just works itself out.
Well said, man. Well said. Well, I appreciate your time here today, Shane, and I'm sure we will have lots more conversations coming up, because this rabbit hole of water is a deep one.
It goes in many, many different directions, and I love to chat about it, and I love chatting with you about it. It's great. We'll definitely have another one of these in the next couple weeks here for sure.
You betcha, brother. Likewise, right back at you. So, guys, I will put down below. Shane, so sorry, I know we mentioned it during the podcast. Just give me one more shot here of where can people find you and where can people find the companies you are associated with, and they'll be down in the show notes.
Yeah, so my Instagram and YouTube and Facebook is I'm at H2 Water Expert. And you can find me at www.h2waterexpert.com or www.tech4health health.ca. And reach out to me or my business partner Louis on Tech for Health. But you can reach out to me on Instagram at H2 Water Expert.
Beautiful. Awesome, man. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you being here today. And we'll catch up with you soon.
100%, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
Thank you.